Hello, this is the Tradesight Stocks and Futures Preview for Tuesday, the 8th of August, 2017. This will probably be pretty short. There's not much to talk about after what we just sat through. Horrible. Worst action probably of the year, I think. Here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market S&P 500 in futures form. It was up a couple points today, but there was a little gap up. We never filled. We spent almost the entire day at a 4-point ES range. I'll show you that in a minute. That's the smallest range I think I've ever seen. The opening ranges, for those of you who knows what those are, on the futures was 1 point on the ES. Never seen it before. Let's go through the major indices, and then we'll look at whatever else is going on. Crude oil down 22 cents to 49.35. Not a big deal. Gold down $2.50. S&P cash index up 4. It's not quite a closing high, but again, we've just been flat here for 2 weeks. NDX up 34, still not a closing high there. The big 5 or so didn't do much. SOX up 18, that's a blip. Biotech's up 16, that's also a blip. The VIX loses 10 cents and closes back under 10 at 9.93. Trend closes at 1.02. It's about where the 10-day moving average currently is. NASDAQ volume 1.7, but really at the close it was more like 1.55, 1.6. So a light volume day, lightest in several weeks on top of the lack of action. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 215 and on the New York minus 113. Google loses 4 cents. Talk about flat. $1,000 stock loses 4 cents. Apple up $2.42. That's a new closing high on Apple. Amazon up $4.69. It's a blip for that. Netflix up $1, also a blip. Tesla loses $1.74. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 14 cents. Goldman Sachs gains 3. Finally breaks out of a range it's been in since March. Interesting. Dow Jones up 25. That's a blip. Let's take a look at the intraday action. So we'll switch this back to 5-minute charts so we can see just the last Friday and today, basically. So yeah, a little gap up here. Actually, it wasn't even a gap on the ES. And then almost the entire day, the low was 24.73 early. And the high was 24.77 until one spike late in the day. So basically 5-point range for the whole day, 4-point range for most of the day. The NASDAQ, a little more action early, but then look how flat that was. Finally got a 13 sell signal on that one spike. It's not tradable, folks. You got to be careful. We're not here to lose money and force things. So, if this is what August is going to look like, this is slower than most August so far, definitely. But you're not going to want to do anything stupid. So let's try to be patient, wait for good stuff, and keep the powder dry for when it matters. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we've got the Jolt to Job openings number at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. There's not a lot of data coming out this week, but there is some stuff as we get later on in the week. I'm going to miss most of Friday. I'll be on the road, but I'll be around for the open. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will try to help you out this week. We'll see. Have a great trading week.